When I think of energy, I think of how I feel when I enter a room and certain people are in it. It's like, does it feel inviting? Does it feel welcoming? Are they friendly? Like, you know, is their energy just good, or does it feel like dangerous or scary or that kind of thing? I know that's not the end all, like the full explanation of it. How would you explain energy and how it like shows up day to day in our life? Like how we can pinpoint, oh, that's it. That's something energetic. Like since it's all energy, right? Like how do we make sense of it?
So,
or maybe we're not making sense of it because like,
well, that's one thing. We can't try to make, science is doing a good job of explaining certain phenomena, but we can't, there's just certain spiritual tools that's like, why even try to solve it with a logical mind? However, to try and talk about it in a way that's not, because I don't like to regurgitate anything. There's so much out there, but yes, energy is everywhere. Energy is everything. And the thing about it is, I realize like when I'm sharing these different practices for energy alchemy and stuff like that, the main thing is you have to learn to get out of your own way. So we have different layers on our body. We have like the physical body. There's an energetic layer. There's a wisdom layer. There's so many different layers that we're not just this human walking around. Even our auric field is extending apart arm's length in all directions around us. So we have the capacity to really fill up a room. In fact, when you're going into the room, you can do that. You can just visualize yourself getting bigger and getting bigger, breathing in the sofa, breathing in the walls, breathing in the space, and expanding your energy outwards. And that can be felt. Like these are subtle energies that can be felt. And so for someone to get into that, it's going to take a great deal of getting out of your own mind, because there's some self-sabotage that will creep in and try to be like, what is this? This isn't real. Like this is fake. Because it's the opposite of all the things we've been told. So to go on this path, it takes you getting out of your way of thinking what it is. We had it so figured out when we were kids. Like if you can tap into that childlike space and be full of imagination and excitement and just try it out. That's how it started to unravel for me. I started to experiment and try it out. And so there's even things like Qigong, Kundalini yoga. These are different practices that can help you start to be more aware of the subtle energy. Your eating habits, different things going on a detox. These are things that can start to make you feel aware, because even when you're cleansing out your system, what can happen is your hearing gets enhanced, your eyesight gets enhanced, all these sorts of things gets enhanced. And when we can stop doing the things that numb us and dull us down, then we can become more aware of this energy. And there's this other practice that I love sharing when people have a hard time feeling into energy. Indigenous cultures practice something called animism. And animism is this radical act of gratitude. It's you waking up and you're lying in the bed and you're saying, thank you, bed. Thank you for holding me throughout the night. You're stepping on the ground and you're like, oh, thank you, floor. All these things that we usually take advantage of, we're just like, oh, they're just here. The door handle. What would happen if you just started to thank the door handle? All these different parts, right? You begin to just thank things along the way. And before you know it, I kid you not, just like some, I don't know, Disneyland type of stuff. Magic starts to happen. It feels like you're not alone. The space is holding you. They're like, she gets me or he gets me. You're really acknowledging. Because imagine if you were doing something for a partner and you were just going out of your way. You're like, oh, here's the door. Oh, here's some food. Oh, here's that. And they never thanked you. And they never even acknowledged you. How would that make you feel? And so, what it looked like with our ancestors, they did this with the land, which is why I'm so big on giving reverence to the land, sticking your fingers in some dirt, spending time outside, hugging trees, all the things, all the hippy dippy stuff is actually stuff that actually works, But that's a frequency that can be felt.